Today we will be doing a topic from renal physiology called as sodium and water reabsorption. As we all know, nephron is structural and functional unit of kidney. Nephron consists of different parts known as the Malpighian body, proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, collecting duct, loop of Henle, ascending limb, and the descending limb. Out of these parts, 80% of the sodium gets absorbed in the proximal convoluted tubule. The main reason for this is angiotensin 2. Let us learn about angiotensin 2. So, angiotensin 2, this punk right over here, is the body's most powerful sodium retaining hormone. It has various functions. Different functions of angiotensin 2 are vasoconstriction, normalizing blood pressure when it's low, and normalizing the extracellular volume so that the fluid balance is maintained. But you may ask, how does it absorb this much sodium? So it does this by three methods. The first method, angiotensin 2 stimulates adrenal cortex to secrete aldosterone, which increases sodium reabsorption. I will be discussing this method in detail further in this video. Next method is by constriction of efferent arteriole. So here we see there is a glomerulus, there's a Bowman's capsule, the afferent arteriole and the efferent arteriole. This gets constricted. Due to this constriction, there is reduced hydrostatic pressure in the peritubular capillaries. So as we know that hydrostatic pressure function is to move the fluid out of that capillary. So if that pressure is reduced, there would be accumulation of fluid in that region, and due to that there would be increased reabsorption of sodium. There is also another effect that happens via constriction of efferent arteriole. What happens is if I put a constriction over here at efferent arteriole, the blood that is moving from here to here will get slowed down and it will get accumulated for here or here or here for a longer amount of time, due to which there would be more increased absorption of sodium in that area. So therefore, it is reducing renal blood flow, increased filtration fraction and increased reabsorption of sodium. The third method is angiotensin 2 direct stimulates the sodium reabsorption via acting on PCT, LOH and DCT. How does it do that? Via these pumps, that is sodium potassium pumps, sodium hydrogen exchange and sodium bicarbonate co-transport. I hope these three methods are clear by now. So let us move on to how is this angiotensin 2, that is such a big pump, how is it formed? It is formed by something known as the Raas mechanism. Raas is nothing but renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. How does this work? So all this starts when there is a low concentration of sodium in the tubules. It alerts the juxtaglomerular apparatus to release something called as renin. To be specific, the JG cells of the juxtaglomerular apparatus to secrete renin. What this renin does is there is angiotensinogen which is produced in the liver, converts it to angiotensin 1. This angiotensin 1 is further converted to angiotensin 2 via enzyme called as ACE, that is angiotensin converting enzyme. This ACE is formed in lungs. So now, after formation of angiotensin 2, as we learned in the first method for sodium reabsorption, it acts on the adrenal cortex which secretes aldosterone, which in turn leads to increased sodium absorption. So this is the Raas mechanism, and this is very important in the renal physiology. And because of this, there is not only increase in sodium reabsorption, but there is also increase or decrease in the blood pressure regulation via this mechanism. That's why this mechanism relates to two most important systems of the body, that is the renal and the cardiac, and many more systems. I hope you understood this mechanism very well. So let's move on to the water reabsorption part. How is water reabsorption done? Water reabsorption done is mainly due to this hormone, the antidiuretic hormone. No, it's not an evil name, it just sounds like that. Sweetly known as ADH. Remember this point very well, that it is secreted by the hypothalamus but stored in posterior pituitary. It is a very confusing thing that you might mislead with. So just remember this point. The main function of this is to conserve water. But how does it conserve water? It just increases the water permeability of the distal tubule, collecting duct epithelia, and the collecting tubule. How is it some magical reaction that increases the water permeability? No. It does this via some protein channels known as aquaporins. More specifically, aquaporin 2. These acts as water channel and let more water outside. But what stimulates this conservation of water and what is the need for conserving? So when there is increased sodium retention, that leads to the conservation of water. What is the result? Of course, retention of water. So I hope you understood the water reabsorption, the Raas mechanism and the sodium reabsorption part of it today. If you want, you can take the notes of this. Also, if you liked this video, kindly don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mech Medical for more captivating educational content. Yeah, so stay curious, stay informed, and stay inspired to make a difference in this world of vast medicine. Thank you.